This is the koha-US web dev sig for April 2025. What does everybody want to talk about? Anything cool you've been doing? Any jQuery you've written recently? Any bugs you want to look at? Any new stuff that we should be aware of coming down the pipe?
I'm 99% sure I wrote something to work around a bug temporarily, but I have no idea what it is. But I'll look.
You did something for the lady that needed to get around the authorities.
Oh yeah, that
Can't remember
that
what
is
that was, that she was having to click out of it. And that was what, at the cataloging meeting, I guess?
I think so. George put in a bug about it. I looked at it on main and it seems to be fixed. There was like between now and then they've added containers around a lot of things. So
That was exactly it. I just found it. It's make the authorities search form visible after a no result found. And so somebody's already patched that bug.
yeah, it kind of got taken care of because of the changes they're making to like some of the structural stuff. Um, I found the bug that fixed it, I think. And I was gonna add it to your bug and never did. I think it was this is what fixed it, the adding the main container wrapper to various places, including that authorities thing. Hi, Paul. I don't know what I've been doing with my life. I did have a thing come up this morning that just like distracted me down a rabbit hole where we have libraries who don't pay attention when they're importing records on C3950. And so they'll just pick an online resource record because it's at the top of the list. So I was trying to make it obnoxious to pick a wrong record. So this is where I'm at with that. It's not. So if we go to the Z3950, I started just targeting anything that has online resource in there, and I was doing a strike through, but I think I want to make it more annoying and more obvious that this is not the record you should be picking. You should be picking something that's not that because we don't import online resource records. So that was just a little simple chunk of jQuery that's saying if it contains online resource, strike it through, and then I was gonna like go higher.
I
And
was
that
going to say,
should,
if you can do the strike through, you can disable all the actions.
yeah. Oh, see, I'm sort of on the fence there because like maybe that's the only record that is there, and then they need to use it to like adapt into a physical record. So I don't want to like totally eliminate it, but I want to make it really apparent that that's not the best option in the list. So maybe even like an alert when you click import that says, "Hey, are you sure that's really what you want to use?" Because it's not a quality record. Same thing, like I'd like to do that with other things too, like SIP records where it doesn't have paging and stuff like that. Just try to emphasize the fact that those aren't the best records, even though they're at the top of the list. I've been playing with that. Um, I don't know what else I've been playing with. Oh, the holds queue. I had that pulled up. I added the series information to the holds queue, which is a bug. I have it in here. My test server got refreshed. So it should be labeled because I try to label anything that's got a bug that I jQueried around. So that one's just add series information to the holds queue list. And I only had one library that wanted to do it. So of course I had to overcomplicate it here, but um, I have an array of the libraries where it does it. and then it's using the an API call to go out and pull the series information. And I'm doing this on my search results already, so I just kind of copied and adjusted it to do the same thing on the holds queue for me. And we do that because some libraries shelve by series, but they don't put it in their call number. So then when they go to look for it, they're looking in the wrong place because it's like in a different section of the library. I think that's really all I've been playing with since the past 2 months. Disable the buttons, Paul said. Yeah, my buttons are junky too, if you notice, because I got complaints about there being extra clicks. So that's also some jQuery. I'll share my screen back. So like in standard Koha, you just have this button and you have to click it and click it. But I broke all that so that these are links because my catalogers didn't like it. So I could do some extra stuff there for sure. One click is always better than 2 clicks, that's right. What else do you guys want to talk about? Could be a really short meeting. There was another bug that I fussed with.
You say this could be a really short meeting and then you just dive into something else, man.
Well, we gotta create content for the people. That's what this is all about. This bug we can talk about because I think it's Lucas's and I have some associated jQuery. Uh, so this comes up every once in a while where like you're doing multiple holds from like using the checkboxes to place multiple holds at once. And it's not filling in the pickup location that like the default pickup location that's set. So it looks like it hit failed QA because of something in the testing.
Looks like Paul failed it.
No, he tested it, right?
I I don't have any recollection of this one, but I can revisit it.
So it's saying the problem with default pickable location could be an invalid choice for some or all of the records. That's what Katrin's saying towards the bottom. And she's the one that failed it because that part of it didn't get tested. But yeah, I thought I'd bring it up because it came across my desk again and I had some broken jQuery that was accommodating that that I had to fix earlier in the week. So I've got a Band-Aid on it right now.
So what's the issue then? So when you place multiple holds, there's a problem?
Yeah, I can show you
Okay.
what it's solving. Let me get my screen back. Totally lost Zoom there for a second. So if I go to place a hold on several things, these boxes don't get filled in. So let me turn off the Band-Aid I talked about. That's this one. So now this is how it behaves in general, is it doesn't fill those in. So that means extra clicks like we don't like, where it should just be filling in the patron's home library because of the system preference. And that's how it works on a single hold, but it doesn't work the same on a multiple hold.
And so Kate's issue is that if one of those is an invalid pickup location, that's why the bug failed QA. I understand now.
Yeah.
I've never had that problem reported to me, so my guess is it's probably because most of my libraries aren't placing their own holds for their own patrons. They're letting them do that themselves.
Yeah,
And
and
certainly nobody's sophisticated. They're not sophisticated enough to use the multi-holds is probably one of the issues too.
my problem was I had it set up where it was I was looking at the URL to see if it said multi-hold to then fill in the thing. But if you do a multi-hold when you've already picked the patron and done a search to hold, then it doesn't put multi-hold in the URL for whatever reason. So like it was only half working. So the change I did was like target the actual element on the page, I think. There's a unique element on the page for multiple holds.
Is there a bug for, when I'm looking at the holdings table, this is generally for our catalogers. I've got the table configured to not show certain columns, but it's always showing the columns I don't want to see. And then if I do go and take those columns out again, then it will stay that way for a while, but then it always comes back. So I don't want to see classification source and source of acquisition, and it makes the table long. And it used to always stick. I never had this problem, and I've seen different things come up, but I don't know maybe which bug pertains to this issue.
You're on 2411 now, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like this, but that should be fixed in 2411. But that's what it sounds like, or something similar.
We've had issues like that since the upgrade as well, where like all the tables have that new setting, or most of them do at the bottom where it's like save the state or whatever. But like if I don't uncheck that, sometimes it gives me all the whole table stretched out, and it'll even give me columns that shouldn't be visible at all anyways. So um like on the checkout screen, it'll have the priority column or whatever on the far left, and it doesn't group the table like it's supposed to. And I haven't been able to like replicate that very well. But I found that if I uncheck that new setting for the table, then like log out to clear the cookie, it fixes it.
Could you
But
file a bug for that, please? If you haven't already.
if I can figure out what causes
Is
it, sure.
if you know if you like well, if you tell us that this is a problem, but you cannot replicate it,
Mhm.
just file the bug and maybe someone else is able to replicate it.
Okay. I'll
Because
see if
it's
I
I
can
can imagine that this could be a problem. That's why
yeah, but like I said, I think it's related to that save configuration state checkbox. So if you want to work around it, try unchecking that and see if it fixes what you're seeing.
Which is nice to have, but it does make troubleshooting a little tricky when you have maybe something stuck in local storage or a cookie and the table is behaving oddly. But back to Barbara's question, that shouldn't be part of it, because if I'm not mistaken, the holdings table, you can't do that. You cannot check the box and save state on that table. So sounds like something different there.
And this would be on the add item
Oh, not the holdings table.
Yeah, it's actually the add item table. Because this is more in the, when I'm looking at the attached items on the bib, as opposed to just searching the catalog and looking at, record that way. And so I've got the save configuration state on page change checked, but I don't have the save search state. And I get confused on what's the difference between these two things. I have the first one checked and the second one unchecked, and I've tried different combinations and I still can't get it to stick. And I can see all of my boxes that I'm saying hidden by default, but they still show up.
Add item.
I'm just
I would-
looking, I haven't got anything configured there, so I'm no help. I've got everything showing all the time, no matter what. So
I would start, Barbara, by unchecking save configuration state on page change, logging out to clear your local storage, and then test from there to see if the problem remains or goes away.
Like that. That appears to have worked right now, but I believe that there's been multiple times where I've thought, okay, I have this solved, and then I'll realize it's come back. So it looks good at the moment, so I will see how long this lasts. Thank you.
Maybe another thing we should do with the save state is to like provide, I actually don't know how it's implemented, but to provide like an expiry key so that it doesn't stay in memory or in local storage forever, or just can be invalidated by the server, you know. Yeah, also quiet. Is this not like a meeting that where the last meeting was like 2 months ago? I just heard. And you don't have anything to discuss?
No, that's just normal for us. We like to stare at each other for long periods of time.
I'm not looking at you guys.
I've been working on Metabase mostly, so I've been focused elsewhere.
Yeah,
And-
and I've got a migration, so I've been working on mapping and stuff.
And I'm up to here in Aspen Discovery.
So yeah, I guess we don't have anything to talk about,
Yeah.
which is okay. I mean, we can call it if there's nothing else people wanna do today.
I can get ready for my Aspen Discovery meeting in 40 minutes, so.
All right, sounds good. We will meet again this time next month, and hopefully we'll have some more exciting things to talk about.
See y'all later. It was nice seeing you.
Here's all.
Thank you.